Greetings to my Facebook family. Greetings to my YouTube family. As a matter of fact, greetings to my entire American family. Happy Thanksgiving Day to all of you. For those of you who are having small dinners with family, enjoy. And for those of you who decided to travel, be safe. It is my pleasure to bring you another video. But before we get in to the content of this video, I just want to make sure and stress to everybody, just remember those families who lost loved ones to COVID. Over 260,000 Americans that were here at the beginning of the year and didn't live to see Thanksgiving Day. I want you to keep in your mind your thoughts and your prayers for the 50 million families who are living under a cloud of uncertainty. They are struggling with hunger, sitting in food lines for hours just to basically feed their families. I also want you to take the time out to count your blessings, because like you know, and I know, we've been truly blessed. So for those individuals who are dealing with the loss of a loved one, dealing with hunger, trying to feed themselves and their children, I just want to take just a moment of silence to think about them. Most importantly, we want to thank all of the first responders. Without them, oh my God, where would we be? There he is, ladies and gentlemen. Take a good look America's first Russian president. But we all forgot about our suspicion of this individual working for Vladimir. We all forgot about that. He had us marred up in so much bullcrap, so much confusion, so many verbal, physical altercations that it didn't make any sense. But that was his job. You see the man whose hand he's shaking? That's his boss. Look at him. He wanna kiss his boss. That man had one mission and one mission only, and that is to bring us to the brink of where we are about to commit violence against each other. So this individual, Vladimir, his boss, during the confusion and fighting, can come up in here and sweep up all the pieces. Oh, he'll leave it for Donald to run. Trust me when I tell you. Look at this here. Look at this. Look at this. This is who we voted out of office. A traitor. Look at him. They work for you. He works for you. That one works for you. Look at him. He goes to a diplomatic meeting with other world leaders, and who do we run to? Straight to his boss. He don't care about speaking to nobody else. Go straight to his seat. Sit down. Look at this here. And he's giving him his instructions. Look at that there. You want to kiss him, don't you? I'm going to tell y'all something. The Russian bear has been put in an eternal slumber. It's the wolf that lies in Russia now. It is the wolf, no longer the bear. He has yet to concede because he doesn't plan on conceding. Donald Trump is preparing to take power. He's preparing to take power. I wouldn't doubt if the 4 years that he was in office that he hasn't been stockpiling weapons. Proud Boys, stand back and stand by. He don't give a damn about the Proud Boys. He don't give a damn who he throws in that meat grinder. He doesn't care who loses their lives. Period. This man has never worked for the American people. Tell me one HR bill or one S bill that he put into Congress to be passed into law that helped any American. He talked about building a wall. Come on. He restored 250 miles of wall that spanned it to 2,500 miles. It was replacement wall. Period. And now he's got these Trump supporters that are out here that believe in some of the most mad conspiracy theories out there. I mean, the stuff that they believe is so far out there, it doesn't make any sense. I believe it was Donald Trump who said in an interview in the 90s that if he was ever to run for president, he would run as a Republican. Because Republicans are so dumb, they'll believe anything. But now, we're seeing the effects of that. We're seeing effects of the misinformation and how it has these individuals misguided accepting any sort of conspiracy theory imaginable. I want to talk about this group here called QAnon. Okay? QAnon is a conspiracy group that peddles information to right-wingers that high-ranking liberals, Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, all these individuals, Oprah Winfrey, a big Democratic donator, are all caught up in some child sex trafficking scheme, and that they're breeding children and drinking the blood of these kids because I believe they call it adrenoglobin in the blood is supposed to be keeping these people young looking. Man, Hillary Clinton looked old as hell. I mean, she's still nice looking, but Hillary Clinton looks old. Everybody who they talking about is aging. How could you allow a conspiracy theory like this to fool you to what you know you actually see? All these people that you're talking about, they're supposed to be drinking kids' blood to stay young, look old as hell. And let's not forget too that these people that are in this conspiracy are the same people that Donald Trump has been calling for to be locked up. These are the same people that Donald Trump has went to his Attorney General, William Barr, to start looking at the process necessary to prosecute his political rivals and put them in jail. I have no doubt in my mind that if Donald Trump won the election, that's where we would be at right now. Those plans would be full steam ahead, and part of these conspiracy theories will be spewed out there. Just like the lies he's talking about, there's widespread fraud. There's no widespread fraud. There's widespread vociferal hatred for you, Trump. That's why you lost. Okay? That's why you lost. People hate you more than they love you. And that's something that these followers of Q and followers of Trump don't understand. How could Joe Biden get that many votes? Because there's that many people who really hate Trump's guts. They don't like him. They think he's bad for the country. Other countries celebrated and said he was bad for the world. This man is hated globally. But what I want you to do is listen to the conspiracies that these individuals believe who call themselves the followers of Q. Okay? Just listen to them. You're going to hear the wildest shit you have ever heard in your life. Take a listen.
America decides its political future in less than a month. And just this past week, Facebook decided to take down conspiracy theories pushed by the online movement known as QAnon. Wired magazine editor-in-chief Nicholas Thompson has some background.
It's one letter, but it spells out a bizarre conspiracy theory with President Trump at the center.
My president walked out there, went in front of the church, and held the Holy Bible.
Q, representing someone or something called QAnon.
We will not cower down to evil. We're Americans.
What exactly is QAnon?
QAnon is a bundle of different beliefs, but the one that often gets focused on the most is the idea that Donald Trump is fighting and winning a war against satanic, cannibalistic, child molesting top Democrats.
Starting in 2017, a mysterious someone calling him or her or themselves Q began posting tangled clues.
2017.
They're called Q drops, full of false
After
information
President
styled as if they
Trump
come from a Washington insider.
took
Whitney
office.
Phillips is an assistant professor at Syracuse University who studies disinformation.
This idea that you have a group of Obama holdovers who are actively trying to undermine Trump at every turn. And sometimes that is explicitly referred to as the deep state.
At the crux of the theory is this belief
President Obama tapped my phone.
that you are secretly saving the world from this satanic cult of pedophiles and cannibals. Does that sound like something
Let's not forget the pedophiles and the cannibals are liberals.
you are behind? Or
Well, I haven't heard that.
Well, President Trump has refused offers to distance himself from QAnon.
Is that supposed to be a bad thing or a good thing? I mean, you know, if I can help save the world from problems, I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to put myself out there.
Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden has another diagnosis.
What would you say to President Trump for not rejecting that conspiracy and the people who believe in it?
I've been a big supporter of mental health. I'd recommend that people who believe it maybe should take advantage while it still exists in the Affordable Care Act. It's bizarre.
I feel now, very strongly, that Q has become sort of a line in the sand, that if you are against Q, then you are either actively or passively supporting human trafficking.
This is where the belief and thinking of the Republican Party is at. Allegations with no proof. Somebody told me so. This is what I want to believe is becoming the norm, even in their politicians. Sick.
And child trafficking.
You might notice the red, white, and blue banner behind Mike Carville. He's the Republican nominee for Congress in a heavily Democratic district east of Los Angeles.
I want to name some people and tell me whether you think, or whether Q has said they're involved in this human trafficking. Hillary Clinton?
Yes.
Barack Obama?
Yes.
George Soros?
Yes.
Michelle Obama?
This I don't know.
Bill Gates?
Yes.
Nancy Pelosi?
This I don't know.
Huma Abedin?
No, let me back up. I think I did hear something about Nancy and Uma. But here's the thing, the names you've named have all had allegations of doing things wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the investigation?
Have you felt it?
Supporters of QAnon were out in full force at one.
In the last few months, a bizarre conspiracy theory has taken root firmly on the fringes of the American right.
We go wrong.
Where we go once,
We go wrong.
These people are taking an oath to QAnon, a mishmash of conspiracy theories which holds Donald Trump as the savior of the world. And they hold some disturbing views.
The pandemic wasn't real, and the race war isn't real.
It's creeping into the mainstream of political conversations.
Just this past weekend, Trump retweeted QAnon dozens of times.
And it's tearing families apart.
The person I knew as my mother is probably not coming back.
Newsnight has seen data that shows a huge spike in interest in this conspiracy theory during the pandemic. But what is QAnon? And politicians, and the only person that can stop them is Donald Trump.
Hi, Steph, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing excellently.
Travis View has been researching this phenomenon since its early days.
The most far out of these beliefs say that celebrities and political elites actually farm children in underground caves so that they can drink blood, which supposedly staves off aging.
QAnon has become a sort of cult of President Trump, and in the months since the pandemic, it's seen a surge in its appeal.
The only reason I have this red hat on right now, which I still feel like an idiot sometimes wearing it, it's because I believe that this is a real thing.
Fake news, fake press.
Nick Natoli is one of them. He discovered QAnon about a year and a half ago, but he started sharing his views as the pandemic hit the US. He can spend up to 16 hours a day online, researching conspiracies.
JFK was definitely murdered by CIA. You're taking it from someone who's got JFK on their arm. 9/11 was an inside job. People in our government who are working towards a deep state, who are trying to keep us controlled.
Children are being harvested, children are being farmed for adrenochrome by celebrities and politicians. Do you subscribe to that?
Not outlandish at all. Reptilian aliens, the Epstein connection. MK Ultra is a huge one.
This is conspiracy overload for me. I'm not sure I'm ready for it. Is there a conspiracy theory that you don't believe in?
That's a great question. I can't think of it off the top of my head right now. But what QAnon is just an amalgamation of all of the greatest conspiracy theories thrown into one big belief. I've only been actively posting, I'd say, for the past couple of months. But the response that I've gotten is insane. I mean, people are online looking for this stuff right now.
Exclusive research seen by the BBC looked at the use of hashtags specific to QAnon. Here's how many posts there were over the 2 years before the pandemic. And then in March, this happened. On Facebook, in just 4 months, membership of the biggest public QAnon groups rose by 700%. Most followers seem to be in the US, but there's been a rise in posts from the UK, Germany, and Brazil.
People were looking for an answer as to why everything was happening. People were also locked down in their homes. They were, stuck to their computers, stuck to their phones all day. So they had more exposure to this kind of thing online.
You're an organization that covers extremism, so why are you studying QAnon?
QAnon was labeled a domestic terror threat by the FBI last year. It was born on platforms that are really associated with white supremacist movements, with far-right extremism. And although you can't really label Q followers as that, the conspiracy is tangential to that side of extremism.
Another site that's seen a huge surge in popularity recently is this page on the message board Reddit. People are coming here to post about family members that they feel have been sucked into the QAnon conspiracy. A lot of these relatives are older, parents or even grandparents. We've spoken to a few of those who've been posting, but we're going to hide their identities because some of their relatives could be quite vulnerable.
She believes that Bill Gates created the COVID pandemic.
That COVID-19 is biowarfare that only affects pedophiles.
And also created the upcoming vaccine.
Believes is a cure-all.
Which is going to contain microchips to track everybody.
Wacky things such as Michelle Obama is really a man.
And people like Ellen and J-Lo are all Satanists.
And the pedophile rings.
Interdimensional, demonic pedophiles.
And I said to him, you realize that they believe Democrat politicians and celebrities are literally eating babies? And then he messaged back, yeah, I believe that.
A lot of this is a fine line between, heartbreaking and hilarious.
QAnon has an evangelical aspect, where followers encourage each other to convert friends and family. They call it red pilling, a reference from the Matrix films.
Update from the trenches. Keep red pilling. Keep going, because it worked. It's working. It's beautiful.
Some relatives find it especially hard to deal with a QAnon belief that the pandemic is a hoax.
My father is a cancer survivor and he's immunocompromised. This is putting his life at risk if he starts to believe these things too.
She's 81 and she's not wearing a mask. She's not social distancing in any way.
She implied that my girlfriend's mother, who had COVID-19, was a predator. That's when I kind of snapped a little bit.
What do you think of the pandemic?
I think it's a hoax. I think that the rumor on the street is that President Trump is trying to get all these people to go to jail for pedophilia, child sacrifice, and that the deep state has control of the media.
But what if it is real and you're not taking it seriously enough? Do you worry about that?
I don't want anyone to get sick because they went outside without a mask because of me. So I always want to stay researched.
Social media companies, especially Facebook and YouTube, have been criticized for what's known as the rabbit hole effect. That's when their algorithms lead you to content that just gets more and more extreme. They say that they're changing, but I did a quick search for QAnon on my Facebook account, and the following day, and that it had deleted up to 7,000 accounts. This surge of interest in QAnon comes as the US gears up for elections in November. But it's hard to tell what real-life impact all these hashtags and tweets will have. Looking closely at some of those who follow QAnon now, many were right-leaning before, but a significant number of those that we've observed had no interest in politics, or even leaned a little to the left.
They are activating like-minded people who otherwise may be sitting on the sidelines. And I think that's the part of this that's actually where it starts to translate into meaningful votes.
Angelo Carusone is the CEO of the left-leaning and anti-Trump think tank Media Matters for America.
Trump retweeting QAnon dozens of times, so prominent QAnon accounts, and that has only been increasing in recent weeks. And there's a strategy there, right? Because it works up his base, it gets people energized. It's indisputable that he's aware and that he's intentionally using it to his advantage.
According to Media Matters, at least 14 QAnon believers could make it to the ballot in November. One of them could be elected to Congress. Marjorie Greene is in a runoff in Georgia in a safe Republican seat. She's shown her support for QAnon on social media in the past. We contacted her campaign to find out if she still supports the movement, but she didn't respond. What is the greater damage that you worry it could do?
The thing that really scares me the most about QAnon is that it has all the right ingredients for genuine and sincere and intense violence.
For its followers, QAnon can be all-consuming. It's clearly more than a hobby to you. What is it to you?
It's life. We're here to take the country back. We're not playing around. If Joe Biden wins, I'm scared for America because I believe that QAnon will have something to say about it, and we are large, we are strong, and where we go one, we go all.
Though still on the fringes, QAnon is growing. And as it does, many more families will be left wondering what's happened to the people they love.
Just going deeper and deeper in, like what is that going to look like even 6 months from now?
I know some of you out there after listening to that, just like, this is absolutely crazy. Now, in this statement here that they make, this pledge, where we go one, we go all. Come on. It is a sort of twisted version of the E pluribus unum statement of America. From many, one. Now we're going to dissect some of the stuff in this video. I'm going to let you listen to the young gentleman who has the website, the light-skinned gentleman. I don't know if he's Hispanic or just light-skinned, or maybe he is mixed. I do not know his nationality, and it really doesn't matter to me. We're just going to pick apart some of the things that he's talking about in here, and then we'll give I will give a response to some of the things that he is saying. So, I want to start with the first two things that he says. The first one is, I believe it was, the coronavirus is fake, and so is the race war. So we're going to start right there. Matter of fact, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to replay it for you so you can hear it come out of his own mouth, and then you'll hear me, of course, respond.
The pandemic wasn't real, and the race war isn't real.
There we heard it from this guy's own mouth. The pandemic isn't real, and the race war isn't real. I'm going to start off with the most easiest one to tackle. That's race war. Nobody uses that term anymore. I don't even know why he's throwing that one out there. Who is out here talking about race war? The right is not even talking about a race war because they're clashing with individuals who are from different races, creeds, religions, etc. They're not even saying race war. They're saying civil war. They're saying right-wing values against left-wing values. So I don't know where he got that corny statement from. But he said the pandemic isn't real. If you really believe that, you believe that the pandemic is fake, you believe that it is done by some deep state, you believe that it's Bill and Melinda Gates made this virus, you believe that the vaccine that they're going to come out with for American citizens to take has some sort of chip in it so that the government can now track you. I'm going to let you hear what your president has to say about the coronavirus. I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to let you listen to the man who you really believe is the savior of the world, Donald J. Trump.
Startling news on the coronavirus and the President of the United States. We now all know that President Trump intentionally downplayed the threat of the pandemic for months, potentially worsening the severity of this crisis. On March 19th, it's on tape. The President told journalist Bob Woodward, quote, "I wanted to always play it down. I still like playing it down because I don't want to create panic." For months after that, he compared the virus to a flu.
While privately noting that it is more deadly than even the most strenuous flus. And since then, the U.S. death toll from the coronavirus has risen from 265 to more than 190,000. Health experts say with stronger restrictions, many of those deaths could have been prevented. It's one of many revelations in Woodward's new book, Rage, which is published by Simon & Schuster, a division of Viacom CBS. Paula Reed is at the White House for us. She's been following this. Paula, good morning to you. How is the president responding?
Good morning. Tony, President Trump is addressing this controversy head-on. Yesterday, he took questions from reporters where he defended his actions, but now he's also disparaging Bob Woodward, even though over the course of 7 months, he sat down for 18 on-the-record interviews with the legendary journalist. Woodward says he approached this assignment the same way he approached his work in Watergate. He wanted to know what the president knew and when he knew it.
On February 7th, Bob Woodward spoke to the president, who had just talked with Chinese President Xi Jinping the day before. In audio recordings obtained by the Washington Post, Mr. Trump admitted to Woodward the severity of the virus.
It goes through air, Bob. That's always tougher than the touch. You know, the touch, you don't have to touch things, right? But the air, you just breathe the air. That's how it's passed. It's also more deadly than your strenuous flus. This is more deadly. This is 5% versus 1% and less than 1%. So this is deadly stuff.
Our country is stronger today. Even after acknowledging the virus was airborne, the president held at least 7 indoor rallies. And despite knowing the flu was not more deadly, Mr. Trump continued to say otherwise.
We're finding very little problem. Now, you treat this like a flu.
By downplaying the threat, Americans lost time to prepare.
We're prepared and we're doing a great job with it, and it will go away. Just stay calm.
Now, I'm not going to be hard on this young man right here. I'm going to talk to him more from a big brother perspective because I'm older than this gentleman and far more smarter. Okay? You just heard your own president. When confronted about this, when Woodward put it out that he had the president on tape, when confronted about this, he took questions on it. He didn't say Bill and Melinda Gates created this disease. I mean, this is going to create, or they created this disease or virus. He didn't say that Bill and Melinda Gates had nothing to do with anything. He didn't say that it was fake. He took the point that yes, it's very much real, and he didn't want people to panic. This is the gentleman whose hat you're wearing. He had 7 rallies when he knew that this virus was airborne. He didn't tell people to wear masks or nothing. These are the people who love him. They adore this man. And he's at those rallies telling them everything's going to be okay. He's giving press conferences. It's going to go away. It's just like the flu. And he's saying it's more deadlier than the flu. You got the hat on your head. You know what he sound like. Let's listen to some more. Let's listen to some more, brother. Okay?
Then in March, Mr. Trump told Woodward the virus was a threat to younger Americans.
Now it's turning out it's not just old people, Bob. Just today and yesterday, some startling facts came out. It's not just older young people, to plenty of young people.
But then in the following weeks, the president was urging states and schools to reopen, saying this.
We'd like to see the schools open early next season and on time. It's incredible how it's very unique how the children aren't affected.
He might as well said right then and there, die, children, die. Here he knows that this virus that is real, by the way, young man, real, has a real potential, proven scientific, medical potential to kill young children. And he's saying the opposite and telling American citizens to send their kids to school. This is the man that is supposed to save children from pedophiles? You really... This man might as well have said out of his mouth right then and there, die, children, die. And you're telling me that this man is out there saving children from liberal pedophiles. You know where I'm going with. You know where I'm going with this. Like I said, I'm not gonna beat up on you. I'm coming at you like a big brother. You know where I'm going with this. Now you can look in the mirror and finally admit why you feel stupid wearing that hat. Let's play you admitting that fact. Why don't we do that? Why don't we do that, okay? Let's do that.
And I have this red hat on right now, which I still feel like an idiot sometimes wearing it. It's because I believe that this is a real thing.
Fake news, fake press.
Mick Natoli is one of them. He discovered QAnon about a year and a half ago. But he's...
You know exactly why you wearing that hat. You know exactly why you feel like an idiot wearing that damn hat. You don't feel like an idiot when you believe something is true. You only feel like an idiot when you talk about something that you do not have the belief that it may be true or not. But what does it do? It gives you a chance to paint your damn teeth up and put on a wig and look like 6'9". 6'9". Why you choose him? The biggest snitch in rapping. Oh my God. Listen, man. Listen to what I'm saying to you. You look like a young man that got talent, man. And you wasting it doing this dumb crap. You are spreading things that could cause the deaths of a lot of people. You said it yourself. If Joe Biden wins, you scared for America because they're going to have something to say. Q is going to have something to say about it. You know good and well what you're doing, man. You know you are misleading people. You are causing people to walk out here and think that a virus that is real and out here waiting to kill them is fake. And you're putting ideas in people's heads that there are these liberals out here that are freaking putting children out here in sex trafficking. growing children in basements, harvesting them, drinking their blood. And the blood's supposed to keep them younger. You know, I could show you what Hillary Clinton looked like right now, Barack Obama right now, Oprah Winfrey right now. And we ain't gonna even talk about people in Hollywood, because you should know. Those people don't need blood. All they need is a good plastic surgeon to look young. Hillary Clinton looks old. Barack Obama. Yes, age is showing on the man. I don't see none of these people that's looking young. Now, your excuse for doing this is you say, oh, people are out there and they're hungry for this stuff. Since we're talking about child sex trafficking, I'm going to use that as an example. There are tons of people out here looking for websites where they can meet young children with the purpose of having sex with them. You know you've seen Chris Hansen's To Stop a Predator. Okay? There are tons of people out here who have problems when it comes to being a pedophile. And they're hungry looking for information, looking for websites where they could go on and meet little kids. Just because there is a market out there where people are hungry to hear something doesn't justify you doing it just because they are out there looking for it. You know good and well what you're doing is wrong. That's why you said this.
I have this red hat on right now, which I still feel like an idiot sometimes wearing it. It's because I have this red hat on right now, which I still feel like an idiot sometimes wearing it. It's because I have this red hat on right now, which I still feel like an idiot sometimes wearing it. It's because I have this red hat on right now, which I still feel like an idiot sometimes wearing it. It's because I have this red hat on right now, which I still feel like an idiot sometimes wearing it. It's because I have this red hat on right now, which I still feel like an idiot sometimes wearing it. It's because I have this red hat on right now, which I still feel like an idiot sometimes wearing it. It's because
I have only one thing to say, and that is the thing that makes us different from all other nations, past and present. The thing that's at the core of our preamble to our Constitution and our Declaration of Independence is to strive for humanity within ourselves. That is the key. And some of us have drifted away from that. A lot of us have. And we know it, and we miss being human. And we want that back. Thank you for watching this video. Please hit the like button and subscribe. And trust me when I tell you this, more videos will be coming. Once again, thank you for watching Trump's War Part 2.